Hello everybody, my name is Jose Rodriguez. In our previous video, we showed you how to download and install a Windows 10 system in a virtual machine for the IT user Pedro Gustavo. We also added this computer device to the pandalab.com domain. Okay, following the same steps, we were able to create virtual machines for Stevie, Poppy, and Nora. Okay, all of them were also added to the pandalab.com domain. As you can see here, this is our virtual machine for our domain controller. If we open the DHCP tool, if you go to the address leases option here, you will see the four virtual machines, IT01, Marketing 01, Production 01, Accounting 01, all of them, they got an IP for our server. And if you go to the Active Directory users and computers tool, okay, for accounting, you can see here the user for Nora Kemona and the computer user for accounting 01. Um, this is the information for Pedro Gustavo that we already showed in previous videos. For marketing, you have Stevie Marie and marketing 01. And in production, you have Poppy Godoy and production 01. Okay, now in today's video, we will show you how can we define the behavior of all these devices and user accounts using Active Directory services. There are different ways we can do this, but for the purpose of this video, we will show you how to do it via Group Policy Objects or GPOs. Okay? GPOs are a collection of settings that defines the behavior of users and computers within an Active Directory environment in a centralized way. Okay? Let's minimize these windows and we will go to the Tools menu that is located at the top right of your screen and then select the Group Policy Management option. Okay? It should be, we're getting this. Let's just click on cancel for now because I don't know why it's showing us this message. Okay, so here is, if you go, you should get a window like this and you can see the forest for pandalab.com, and then you have all the domains information, which is pandalab.com, and then you can see all the different uh, OUs here. Okay, now if you go to Group Policy Objects here, okay, when we created our domain, you create also default group policy objects, one for domain controllers, and one for domain computers. Okay. Now, what we are going to do is to create a new group policy object. Okay, and let's make right click on here, then click on new, and then let's just create a name for our GPO, and I will call this domain computers pandalab.com. Okay, and let's just click on OK. So this will be the group policy object that we will use for uh, the IT user Pedro, the marketing user Stevie, the production user Poppy, and the accounting user Nora. Okay, so in order to edit this group policy object, to configure the settings for the computers and users, we just need to make double click and then click on the edit option. Okay, so this we get this new window for the group policy management editor. So we have computer configuration options and we have user configuration options. Okay, for the purpose of this video, I will show you how can you update uh, some configurations regarding the Windows Update Service, the also the security settings for our computers, okay? And finally, some configurations regarding the security login for every computer, okay? So let's start with the Windows Update version. And the reason why I'm updating this is because this is a research lab environment, okay? And I don't want the current version to be updated, okay? So we are going to computer configuration, okay? And then you have policies, and under policies, you will select administrative templates, okay? And then we will go to Windows components, okay, here. And then we should look for, if we scroll down, there should be one for Windows Update. Go down here, okay? So if you go to this option, the first configuration that we will change is configure. Let's sort this by the name. It will be configure automatic updates here, okay? So if we make double click, you will get this option. And here, if you go scroll down on the right side, you have the help menu. It says if the um, if the status for this policy is set to disable, any updates that are available on Windows Update must be downloaded and installed manually. To do this, search for Windows Update using star. Okay, so we are going to disable this option. Okay, and then click on apply. Okay, cool. The other feature that we will update is the allow updates to be downloaded automatically. So it will be this one. Okay, so we will make double click on it, and it says the help menu says enable this policy will automatically download updates even over metered data connections. Okay, so we will disable this option and then click on apply and click on OK. Again, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to for research purposes, I want the version or the updates for this computer to remain the same while I'm doing my research. Okay, now let's go to the security settings for this computer. Again, we are working with a research environment, so we want to, the reason why I'm updating these security settings is because I want to make these devices vulnerable, okay? So I can test any type of vulnerability or security issue related, okay? So what we are going to do is, if we go back here to Windows Components, now we are going to look for Microsoft Defender Antivirus. So if we go scroll down, here you will see Microsoft Defender Antivirus. Okay, if we extend this section, you will get one that says real-time protection here. Okay, so we need to turn off the real-time protection. Okay, so let's sort this by name. Here, turn off real-time protection. So let's make double click on it. And the help menu says, if we disable this option, Microsoft Defender Antivirus will prompt users to take yeah, if we disable it, it will work. So what we need to do is enable. Okay, when we enable this policy, then the Microsoft Defender Antivirus application, that application will not prompt users to take actions on malware detections. Okay, so let's enable it and then click on apply and click on OK. The other setting that we need to change is the behavior monitoring. Okay, so we will, this option that says turn on behavior monitoring. Okay, if we enable this option, behavior monitoring will be enabled. If we disable this, behavior monitoring will be disabled. Okay, so we are going to disable this option, click on apply, and click on OK. And finally, there is an option for scan all downloaded files and attachments. So we are going to double click on it, and then it says if we disable these settings, scanning for all downloaded files and attachments will be disabled. Okay, so we are going to disable this, click on apply, and then on OK. Okay, so now under Microsoft Defender Antivirus here, there is another option for maps here. And there is one setting that is called send file samples for further analysis. Okay, so we don't want to do this because we are going to test malware with this research lab. So we don't want our Windows system to send these samples to Microsoft. Okay, so what we need to do is we are going to enable it. Okay, and then in this option we will select never send. Okay, so it's kind of interesting and funny at the same time, because in order to never send samples, okay, to Microsoft, you need to enable and then select the never send option. Okay, it should be just disabled, but for some reason it doesn't work that way. Okay, so let's just click on apply and then click on OK. And then finally, what we need to do regarding security settings is we are going to disable the Microsoft Defender Smart Screen option. Okay, so we are going to mm, oh, so this is actually not under Microsoft Defender Antivirus. We need to go and check for Windows Defender Smart Screen here. This is the option. So let's expand this, and we have two options, Explorer and Microsoft Edge. So since we are using Microsoft Edge as web browser, I'm sorry, um, we are going to click on Microsoft Edge, okay? And we have two options here. We are going to select this one, configure Windows Defender Smart Screen. Okay, let's make double click on it. And the help menu says, if we disable this setting, Windows Defender Smart Screen is turned off and employees can't turn it on. Okay, so let's click on disable and then click on apply and click on OK. And then let's go to this other option that says prevent bypassing Windows Defender Smart Screen prompts for sites. So if we disable this option, okay, employees can ignore Windows Defender Smart Screen warnings and continue to the site. Okay, so let's disable this, apply, and click on OK. Okay, so now with this configuration, we are making our systems kind of vulnerable, okay, to some attacks and malicious behaviors. Okay, now the last section of this video is going to be related to login settings. Okay, how to generate logs, how can we store these logs. Okay, how the capacity of our computer to store these logs. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to look for the event log service option. It is also under Windows components. So if you go here, it should be here, event log service. Okay, so there are here the group policy management window is showing us four basic type of logs: application logs, security logs, setup logs, and system logs, okay? So on each of these type of logs, okay, what we need to configure here is the specify the maximum log file size, okay? So let's click on this one, and we will enable this, and we need to specify the maximum log size in kilobytes. So the maximum is 2 terabytes, so I'm going with that one, okay? Control C. Oh, my bad. It's in Control C, and then if I go here, Control B, okay, and then click on Apply. Okay, then let's go to the security logs. Same idea. We are going to specify the maximum log file size, enable, and then just write the maximum, apply. Okay, let's go to the setup, log file size, enabled, maximum, apply. Okay. And finally, the system logs, same idea. Maximum log file size. Let's enable this and then specify the maximum log file size, which is 2 terabytes, and then apply. Okay. Perfect. Now, what we need to do also is we need to enable the generation of some logs. Okay. So we are going to, let's go back here. Okay. So now for this one, what we are going to do is we need to enable the generation of logs. Okay, so we are going to policies, then we are going to Windows settings, then we go to security settings, okay, and then almost at the end you have advanced audit policy configuration. Okay, so let's expand this. We have audit policies, and these are all the categories that we have to uh, for the generation of security logs. Okay, so let's go to account logon, and we will need to go over all of these options from account logon all the way to system. And for each option that we have here, we need to make double click, okay, and then configure and then allow both success and failure events, okay, and then click on apply and click on OK. So we need to do the same for each component here and then go through each Audi category and enable all of them, okay? The reason why I am enable all of these options for security logs generation is because this is a research environment, okay? I want to see all the events that can be generated when performing some actions on our computer devices. In a real environment, you need to be very careful with this because you need to enable only the security logs that you are using, okay? Otherwise, you will need a lot of memory space, a lot of hard disk space to store all this information, especially if you're working in a large environment, okay? So we'll go one by one and start enabling all of them, okay? I will pause the video and then come back when everything is done. Okay, I was able to finish and configure the audit policies for system. As you can see, success and failure for all of them. Privilege use, success and failure for all of them. Policy change, success and failure for all of them. Object access, success and failure for all of them. This one is the only one that has only one um, type of event. I forgot the failure, my bad. So let's click on apply. All of them have all of them have success and failure. Log on, log off, success and failure for all of them. Directory service access, success and failure for all of them. Detailed tracking, success and failure for all of them. Account management, success and failure for all of them. and I completed the account logo on the, this is the policy, the category that we started with, okay? Cool. So now after that, so what we are doing here, or what we just did, is to enable the generation of security logs, success and failure for all these Audi categories. Okay. Now there is uh, there is one category that is very interesting, which is detail tracking. Okay, and under this category we have the process creation auditing. Okay, but there is one component, one feature of this type of event that is very powerful when defining detections, which is the command line. Okay. Unfortunately, for some versions of Windows, the command line is not added to the security log. Okay, when a process is created. So what we need to do is we need to um, include the command line as part of the security event log. Okay. So how do we do that? If we go, let's go back here. What we need to do is we need to go to policies. Yeah, we have policies, then administrative templates, and we have system here. Okay. Under system, there is one option called um, audit process creation. Okay, and there is this setting that says include command line in process creation events. So we need to enable this option. Okay. So whenever a process creation event is generated, it will also include the command line that was used for the creation of the process. Okay. And finally, what we are going to do is we also there is another type of security event logs that we can also generate and store for research purposes, and it is the Windows PowerShell logs. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to, let's go here, administrative templates, policies, administrative templates, and then let's go to Windows components, and we will go all the way down to Windows PowerShell here. Okay, so we are going to turn on module logging. Okay, let's enable this option. And here says to turn on logging for the Windows PowerShell core modules, type the following module names in the list. Okay, this one and this one. So we are going to click here. Okay, and we need to add those modules there. So it's going to be Microsoft dot PowerShell dot asterisk, and then the other one is uh, Microsoft Microsoft.ws man dot management. Okay, let's click on OK, and then click on apply, and click on OK again. And the other one that we are going to enable is the PowerShell scripts. Turn on PowerShell script log logging, okay, which is this one. So let's enable this, and then log script log invocation start stop events. Click on apply. This type of event is kind of noisy, but I mean, for research purposes, it's a really good idea to enable all of them. Okay, perfect. So those are the basic examples that we have prepared for you. Okay, we just updated some settings for the Windows Update Service. Okay, we configure the security settings for our devices, trying to make them more vulnerable. Okay, and then the last part of the modifications that we performed were related to the auditing and logging of security event logs okay, uh, for our in our devices. Okay, so we can just close this window. Okay, so here is our group policy object, our GPO. And now what we need to do is we need to specify um, the settings in this GPO can only apply to the following groups, users, and computers. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to click on add here. Okay, and what we can do is you know, I think this is not the right option. So I think what we need to do is we need to link our GPOs to this group policy object. Yes, that's what we need to do. So if you see here, right, under pandalab.com, you have the accounting OU, you have the marketing OU, the production OU, and also the information technology OU. Okay, so what we are going to do is if we go to accounting, we make a right click on it, you have an option to link an existing GPO. So let's click here, GPO, and we have the two default options and the one that we just created. Okay, so let's click here, okay, and click on OK. Then we go to information technology, and we are going to link an existing GPO, the one that we just created. Okay, let's go to marketing. In marketing, we have the same idea, and in production, we are going to do the same here. And then if we go back to the GPO that we just created, you will see here, right, that the following domains, sites, and OUs that are linked to this GPO. And you will see accounting, information technology, marketing, and production. Okay. And we also can link the domain controllers. Yes. Mhm. Perfect. So as you can see, all the settings that we updated were for the computer settings. So this GPO will update and modify the behavior of the computer users that are part of this, that are linked to this GPO. Okay. Now, these were all the steps from a domain controller perspective. Okay, we created the GPO, we linked the corresponding OUs to this GPO. Okay, but now if you go to the computer, for example, this is the virtual machine for Pedro Gustavo, for the IT guy within pandalab.com. So let's log on to this computer. So even though we linked the OU to our new GPO, okay, the computer, we need to refresh our computer, okay, to get these new settings, these new behaviors, okay. Uh, so what we are going to do, you can either restart your computer, okay, or what you can do is if you open a command prompt here, uh, you can run the following command: gp update, okay, space slash force, and then hit enter. Okay, okay, let me increase the size of the, let me increase the font size so you can see better what I'm trying to show you. So we ran the gp update space slash force commands, and the the computer policy was updated successfully. Okay, so now we are ready We are generating logs. We are the Windows Defender settings are disabled. The Windows Update settings are disabled, and etc. Okay, and all what you need to do is if you start your other computers. Okay, so if you whenever you start the Windows 10 machine for Stevie, or the Windows 10 machine for Poppy, or the Windows 10 machine for Nora, and even the Windows Server 2022, you can just open the command prompt and run gp update /force, and then the group policy, the new settings will be updated, okay, in these computer devices. Thank you very much for watching this video.